Reporters and public officials really only have one way to dismiss this mountain, this tsunami of video evidence of black on white crime, black mob violence, and black crime in general that is wildly out of proportion. And it all boils down to one thing. It's some version of this argument. White people do it too. But I keep not seeing white people involved in crimes like this.
Take a close look at these two young men caught on video at the Speedy gas station on Wyoming near Joy Road Friday night. They reportedly asked the clerk if they can wait for the bus here, and when he tells them no, they browse the store aisles. It's about 9 p.m., about half an hour before detectives say they carry out their real mission outside at the pumps. Watch as this man comes to fill his Buick Regal. One of the teenagers asks him for the time, and when the man looks down at his phone, the teen pulls out a gun and rushes toward him, demanding his keys. The 66-year-old victim goes back into the store as the two teenagers get inside his car. They can't get the car to start, though. It has a push-start ignition.
When they couldn't get the car started, they got out of the vehicle and took off on foot.
Detectives with the commercial auto theft section are looking for the suspects. The first, a black male 18 or 19 years old, seen wearing a gray hoodie, and the other, a black male 15 or 16, seen in a black jacket and printed pajama pants.
It's very disturbing, and you're seeing it more and more. The suspects that seem to get younger and younger. It used to be a time when the suspects were older, and now it seems like they're getting younger. So it's very disturbing.
Detective Dana Russell says the victim in this case did the smart thing by handing over his keys right away and by noticing the suspects before they approached him. He was able to give police a good description. Both good tips for anyone filling up past dark.
Make sure you're looking around. If it's people standing around, just be careful. Just be very observant.
Anyone who recognizes either of these suspects should call Detroit Cats at 313-596-2555 or 1-800-242-HEAT. That's HEAT.
These geniuses went out and robbed a business in the middle of a record snowstorm. So when they made their getaway, the cops basically arrested the only people who were on the street.
Stand by. He's passing the tower right now. He's coming up to the big group of trees right there where you guys are. There you go. You got him.
They addressing him?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right, they're taking him into custody. Now stop. Right there.
Underneath that Caterpillar thing, guys. Underneath it.
It's that track vehicle. He's between the tracks up underneath it.
They're addressing.
They're addressing him at this time.
Prior to being chased by the helicopters, Bonnie and Clyde here were involved in an armed robbery of a bunch of people. Now the next one comes from Chicago. It comes from a Chicago cop. And when he sent it to me, I have to ask, I sent it back and I said, hey, do we know if the people who committed this robbery, this mugging, if the person who beat this 90-year-old woman and put her in the hospital with a broken hip, do we know if they're black or white or Hispanic or Eskimo? He started to laugh at me. I said, don't laugh. People come to this YouTube channel all the time and say I'm cherry picking. White people do it all the time too. Most cases of violence are white on white or black on black. And so I worked out the odds of that once, and basically the odds of it are, if it's everything's in proportion, the odds of this being a white person who came along and knocked this old lady down, broke her hip, and stole her purse, the odds of being a white person are 1.17 to 1. The odds of being a black person are 6.66 to 1. But in real life, that's really kind of reversed because we see way more black people doing this than white people. So when I told the cop that, who may or may not be familiar with some of the rudiments of racetrack gambling and pari-mutuel wagering, he started to laugh. He said, listen, there are cops who will line up to take that bet every day of the week. So when we hear people say white people do it too, so we can just ignore these things, just know this. They're repeating the biggest lie of our generation, the hoax of black victimization. So when you're in Chicago or any of these other places we just visited here, go visit your bookie. Ask him if he knows any sociology professors or any sociology students or any public officials or any reporters with a little bit of a gambling Jones who are willing to bet that of the next 10 violent robberies and assaults that walk through the door, 8 of them are going to be, or 6 to 8 of them are going to be committed by white people, and only 1 will be committed by a black person. If your bookie can find somebody to take that bet the house. That's what the cops tell me. They also tell me one other thing when you're in Chicago. Don't make the black kids angry.